That's it. Yalla hiba invert. Up, 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 up. Take that. Yeah. Consolidate.
So the other day I actually competed again in jiu-jitsu, and I haven't competed since February, right? So it's been like a decent amount of time since I hopped on the competition mats, and I decided to do a competition I've never done before, which was Pan Pacs Championship. So I reckon that's probably the second best one in Australia, besides nationals. So I competed in the gi, and I much prefer competing in the gi. It's just like a lot more technical, it's just a lot more fun, and it's just something that I prefer to do over no gi. It's just the complexity of it is just amazing. And then once you have solved like a problem in the gi, it's like, I don't know, you feel like a genius, to be honest. But yeah, I haven't competed in forever, so I decided to do Pan Pacs, and I wasn't sure how I'd go since I've been working and had literally no time to train, and getting older, a little bit older now, so yeah, in my 30s, and it's just recovery is taking its sweet time. If I try and roll like every day, I'm gonna wake up sore, let me tell you that. And not just sore, but it has a fatigue on me where it's just like I'm just tired, I just get super tired after the day after training, and sore, and yeah, it's just it's a bummer. So I can only train maybe I can only train maybe 2 to 3 times a week, 3 times a week, definitely. Struggled to get in a 4th because of being sore and all of that sort of jazz. And yeah, I honestly didn't know how I would go, and we're running late, so we're pumping it down. I was with a few, actually it was only me and one other woman who competed, right? And we train all the time with her sister. Her sister is a genius when it comes to figuring out what we're doing wrong, and fixing problems, and making sure we're on the latest competition sort of technique, and we're progressing in that direction where we can keep up with what's happening out there today and what moves everyone's doing. Like, she's just addicted to jits on another level than I think I am. I used to be heavily addicted to jits, but over the last year or two, I've just and to be honest, I think it as well is because of I work in a 9 to 5. It's just kills your motivation, and that also makes you tired, especially if you're doing like labor, which I'm doing, in manufacturing, a lot of lifting and all of that, so it's great fun. And yeah, anyway, so we went down to MSAC, Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre, and we were running late. My comp said it was starting at 1:42, and I had to compete at 1:08. So I was like, because it had jumped up in time, and we were like, oh, IBJJF, like, come on, man, like, you said the comp was on at 1:48, and now it's like literally like an hour earlier, So anyway, we're like halfway there at that point, luckily Anna knew one of the people who I guess, you know, they look after, you know, a specific mat 2 I was on. So this guy was looking after mat 2, and Anna had his number, and for just, you know, we just had good luck, and he was working on mat 2. So we're like, hey man, I'm running late, look, we'll be there maybe 10 minutes late, and I need to go to the toilet, right? Now, I think that was just, you know, maybe a little bit of nerves, but I had no time to go to the toilet. So literally go in there, run to like the bullpen, weigh myself, get my gear and everything measured, making sure it's all legal, all in spec. I weigh myself for the 76 kilo division so I weighed in at 74.3, and yeah, competed. Jumped on the mat literally straight away. No time to warm up, which is crazy. And yeah, I ended up winning my first, the first match. And yeah, the guy came all the way from Japan, and I feel sorry that I smashed him. You know, 11-2 or 11-3, and yeah, he went home with no medal. But I'm happy that I beat him, and you know, he was a super, that's the thing about, you know, Japanese people, he was super respectful, and I you know, I'm glad that we had that match together, and because he fought really well, and you know, I just got the better of him that day. Now, the second match, I was also winning, you know, right? I was also winning, and my hand tapped, you know, to a submission, sort of like in a bit of panic. Like, it wasn't fully on, and my hand just sort of like tapped before my brain sort of registered what I did. And I was like, oh no, you know, I probably should not have tapped then. And like, because I was winning that match. And I don't know, I'm sort of indifferent to it, because I could have, you know, maybe gotten silver or, you know, or higher on the podium and everything. But I won my first one, so I'm happy about that, and I was winning that match as well. However, I just tapped, but I feel like I was still better than that guy. Anyway, that's just how competitions go. I ended up getting bronze, so I reckon it was a good day. Yeah, I learned, you know, quite a bit, and I probably did the best that I ever have in a competition in terms of what do you call it? In terms of nerves and sort of adrenaline dumps. I didn't like, the only sort of adrenaline dump I guess I got was in my vision. So generally my forearms and your forearms and your grips go if you're like spazzing out, and you know, your adrenaline's dumping and you're just holding on for dear life. But my forearms and everything were actually, it was actually okay. Like, that wasn't the issue. I think this is still part of the adrenaline dump though. So after the first match, just, man, my vision was so blurry. Like, I couldn't really see properly. Everything was just blurry, and I was like, what is going on? And yeah, it was a great experience. First time doing an elimination style sort of competition. You know, not like Grappling Industries where it's a round robin. And yeah, you know, there's still a bit of part of me that's a bit annoyed, you know, that I tapped a bit early, but hey, you know, I'll just go back to the drawing board, fix things that I need to fix, because that's another great thing, I guess, about competing is, you know, we make sure that we film it all and go back to the drawing board when we've sort of like, you know, had chance to look at all the competition footage, and then yeah, we fix all the problems, and we know we'll get better from all that. So all in all, not a loss, you know, not a bad day, not a bad day. And then we had to come back the next day for Anna's sister, Antonia, to compete, and she had won chicken RØDE division and absolutely smashed her in like, I think it was probably a minute or under a minute. And yeah, so she went home with gold, I went home with bronze. All in all, a good weekend. Unfortunately not, you know, not gold for me, but that's for another day, I guess. So yeah, will I compete more? It's one of those love-hate relationships. You know, when I look at all the comps that are for like grappling industries that are sort of for the, you know, for the future, you know, I get super nervous, like super nervous, and I'm like, oh, maybe not, maybe I won't compete again. But then after you competing, you're always like so pumped and so like, yes, you know, I did this, you know, this was the best. And you do progress a lot. So I had this crazy idea. Let me just overtake this guy, so slow. Yeah, so I had this idea that like I would do most of the grappling industry tournaments next year. Now, I know to some people, you know, that it's not like the greatest in terms of talent, but it's like the most sort of consistent organization out there, throwing on all the local tournaments. So at least it'll keep you busy, right? And then it'll be easier to hop into like a higher level, you know, like VIX Nationals or, you know, another Pan Pacs Championship. So I had that idea, and I'm still thinking about it, but I might be crazy enough to do it. What I'm gonna do, I'll throw in some clips actually. I'll throw in some clips right now of like, yeah, the jiu-jitsu match, like sort of like the highlights, you know, the parts that I was like, all right, I did well here, I did well there. Give you guys a bit of a glimpse into, you know, what it was like for me to compete. And yeah, I'll pretty much leave it there. And like, jiu-jitsu is just one of those things. It's grueling, and you know, you got to do these things to sort of test yourself, even if you're super scared. So if, you know, people who are watching, you know, my videos and everything, if you do jiu-jitsu and you haven't competed yet, I highly advise, you know, give it a go. It's, you know, it's a lot of fun, and you know, the worst that could happen is that you'll lose, okay? But really, you're not losing, because you're learning so much from that loss that when you go back to your normal everyday classes, you're going to essentially kick everyone else's butt, or at least you're gonna roll with the same people that you've rolled against, and they're gonna notice like an actual jump in your technique. And that's what I've always found with me. It's like, as soon as you go back to rolling with normal people, they all of a sudden have a harder time dealing with you, okay? So if you're on the fence about doing a competition and you never have, do it, because you at least have that to look forward to after you've competed, okay?
you've got it in the
You're
bag.
up on points. You're up on points, Chris. Defend your arms. Defend your arm. Elbow down. Pass, pass.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold it down. Hold it down. Go somewhere to knee ride. Start to knee ride.
10 seconds left, Chris.
Knee ride. Control. Control. Get your points.
Yeah.
That's it. Practice